Now, in a moment, we are joining Chris and Michaela in Dorset ahead of the new series of Springwatch.
But before that, we sent Chris out on a special egg hunt for the One Show, and it's fair to say he brushed up on some very important skills along the way.
Growing up in suburban Southampton back in the 70s, I remember finding my first ever bird's nest. It was a chaffinch in the school grounds. It was just so beautiful. I was totally enchanted.
Today, I'm on another nest search, this time with Lee Barber from the British Trust for Ornithology. Their nest record scheme provides information on the breeding patterns of Britain's birds.
So the nest is just there, see?
This is a song thrush nest, and we are using a camera on a pole to avoid disturbing it.
Oh, look at that. Fabulous blue eggs. Little capsules of the sky. God, that's sensational. Is there a greater joy in spring?
Oh, definitely not. That's absolutely beautiful.
Every year, around 750 volunteers monitor over 35,000 nests across Britain.
The unique information that it provides is phenomenal. Only Nest Records can collect the information on the clutch size, the brood size, and the outcomes of the nests. And changes to those can really affect a species abundance.
So what did we learn this morning then about our song thrush? That's about a typical clutch size, isn't it, for this time of year?
Yeah, it is. It's quite a lot hatching at the moment, but this one's still on eggs, and we can follow their progress through to see if this nest is successful.
The natural beauty of eggs has meant that in the past, people would go to great lengths to collect them from the wild. At this museum in Brighton, the vast majority of this collection was acquired by naturalist Edward Booth.
He wanted a specimen of every single British breeding bird and their eggs. And judging by the scale of it, he came pretty close.
But taking eggs from the wild was devastating for bird populations and was eventually made illegal in 1954. Sadly, though, there's still an illegal trade in bird eggs, although museums, of course, are no longer the culprits.
When it comes to displaying eggs now, what you need is a brilliant replica.
And that's where Tony Ladd comes in. He's one of a few specialist artists in the world who make lifelike reproductions of eggs for private collectors and museums. Today, he's working on a new display of garden bird eggs.
Look at this spread here, absolutely exquisite. Various birds of prey, and around us here, they look like, what, peregrine eggs?
Yep, these are peregrines.
Superb.
Tony was inspired to start creating replica eggs by his stepdad, who worked as a stonemason at Chichester Cathedral, home to a pair of peregrine falcons.
And he loved those peregrines. He used to sit and have his lunch, listen to them screaming round the spire. And I thought, I wonder if I could replicate a clutch of peregrine eggs and put them in a case for his retirement present. We managed to do it, and he was absolutely chuffed with them. And then people that visited his home started saying, oh, I'd like a clutch of those, you know, where can I get them?
Tony's eggs are made from resin, which are cast from a wooden egg mould. He then painstakingly hand paints them from photos of real birds' eggs kept at the museum. I'm trying my hand at painting a song thrush egg, like those we saw earlier.
When I was a kid, I was always in awe and wonder at the patterns that were put onto those eggs. I never thought that one day I'd be trying to replicate the magnificent artistry of a bird marking its eggs. What's more beautiful than that? Hold on, I was just thinking there's one more about there. What do you think? How have I done as a song thrush?
That is looking great.
Tony's latest collection of British birds' eggs has just gone on display.
My favourite's the blackbird. Definitely.
I've never actually seen a bird's nest, so I thought they would be like just brownish colour.
Isn't it absolutely brilliant to see these young people completely entranced and enchanted by these eggs? Let's just hope that it hatches an interest in natural history as it did for me when I was their age.
Oh, I love it.
That's a big one, isn't it?
That was a big egg, wasn't it? A big egg.
Whose egg is that then?
I don't know. You?
No, well, I don't know.
I was going to say, what do I look like? David? Well, Chris is standing by with Michaela ahead of a new series of Springwatch, which starts tonight. A couple of things, Chris. Got to start with. Big Southampton fan, aren't you? So congratulations on your promotion to the Premier League. Secondly, what have you got in store for us for this new series of Springwatch?
Well, it's great to be back, and we're getting ready for our live show, which starts at 8 o'clock over on BBC Two. And we're going to bring you the sights and sounds, the delights and the dramas of this season as it unfolds. As usual, we've got lots of our cameras rigged on various different nests. We're going to show you them live. This is the selection that we've got. We've got a great selection already, and I'm going to take you live, first of all, to our kestrel nest. Now, this is in a nest box, and you can see it from the outside there. And if we go in, you can see there's actually more than 2 chicks. There's quite a few chicks there, and there's one that's particularly small, what we like to call a runt. So we're rooting for the runt. But let's give you a little taster of some of the other live nests that we've got. This is the chiff-chaff nest. I think this so far is one of my favourite because it's so pretty. All of these little faces peeking out of that nest, ready to be fed. We've got blue tits back. We haven't had a blue tit nest since 2020, so we're really chuffed to be able to bring you this little family in the nest box. What about this? The goshawk crashing in, making its entrance. This is a fearsome predator, but we'll be showing you its more gentle side as it feeds its chicks.
And we're very pleased to be back here at RSPB Arn down on the south coast for our 3-week season this year. It's got so many different habitats. It's got the salt marsh, it's got Poole Harbour, it's got that mosaic of woodlands that we can look into. But critically, of course, it's got some very rare habitats that you only find in this part of the country. I'm talking about the sandy lowland heath, home to things like Dartford warbler and the remarkable nightjar, these birds which are so brilliantly camouflaged. We're hoping to find another nest of these birds as we found last year as well. It's also one of the few places in the country where you can find all 6 species of British reptile, adders and the remarkable male sand lizards, pumped up green like little dragons out on the sand there. And of course the warmth of this environment, that sandy open habitat, means that it's home to lots of exotic insects too.
So there's plenty going on here at Arn on the south coast of Dorset, but Megan is up in Scotland on the west coast of Scotland on the Isle of Bute. It's called Bute because it's so beautiful, and Megan is going to be looking out for all sorts of wildlife. They're great places for wildlife. She's going to be looking for the resident otters, but tonight she's out looking for the wonderful osprey. There are a few pairs there, and hopefully she's going to spot them live.
Yolo Williams is also a key part of our team. He's in Dorset, he's not with us here in Arn. Today, he's been prowling the streets of Corfe, a very picturesque little town not far from where we are, on the lookout for swifts, these extraordinary, charismatic birds which visit the UK to breed in our summertime, and he's been there in the shadow of the fabulous Corfe Castle.
And I know what you're thinking, there's a lot of birds in the show, but of course we're going to bring you mammals as well. And tomorrow night we've got these fantastic badgers. We've got a guy called Malcolm Ingham who's discovered 3 badger clans in his local woodland, and this is what he's named the Nutter Clan because they're completely nutty, very entertaining.
Badgers are brilliant, but foxes are fantastic. We'll also be taking a look at this family of foxes who are living on an allotment in London. Now look, when it comes to spring, nothing beats the frolicking and the joy of fox cubs. Absolutely sensational, and this makes my heart miss a beat. Rather like those beats that were missed in the dangerous stages of the game yesterday when Southampton was seeking promotion. But look at that. Oh, come on, it's the best. Springwatch is going to be fantastic this year.
I really hope that's whetted your appetite. We'll be on BBC Two, as I say, at 8 o'clock.
Thank you both. Gosh, that really has. The cubs, they were so cute.
I'm just glad
weren't
you weren't ignoring me about the football, to be honest.
No,